Hi boys and girls, welcome to Take Two. Boys and girls, welcome to Micro Sessions Brewing. Yes, I am your host, Leo J. Bailey. Yeah, it's a little too late for Happy Homebrew Wednesday, so this will come up prior to the weekend, I guess. We had a pretty good brew day last weekend. I did my Kolsch as I have done before. I've done this one a couple times. It's been fairly consistent. This is the first time I've done it on the new claw hammer system that you see back there. Did everything on BrewFather. I took some pictures. I think I posted on the Instagram stories and a couple pictures on post, and that's about it. So for this video, I'm just going to talk about how the brew day went, which I think I've dialed my system in pretty damn good now. So for those of you who care, let's do this. Everything's on, the phone here. So let me read real quick. I'll try not to make this terribly boring, but just so you know, I call this the Honey Kolsch for reasons that will become apparent very briefly. 4.9% beer. It's on the claw hammer. And let's see, my mash water total was about 7¼ gallons. The original gravity is supposed to be 1047, final 1010, and 25 IBUs. I mashed in at 153. That was my strike temp, sorry. Mashed in at 148 for 60 minutes, mashed out at 168 for 10. The ingredients were as follows. I had 6 pounds, 11 ounces of Weyermann Bohemian Pilsner, big fan. I had 3 pounds of white wheat and 7 ounces of honey malt, hence the honey. My hops were 1 ounce of Hallertau at 60, ½ ounce of Spalt at 30, and ½ ounce of Saaz at 5 minutes. The only thing different about this beer from the previous recipe is I did change the yeast. I like experimenting, and I didn't want to use liquid yeast in the middle of summer ordering it. I don't have a supply house relatively nearby. They're all 45 minutes away, and I wasn't traveling in that direction anytime soon. So I ordered and used some Safe Ale Fermentus K97 dry yeast, which is the German ale dry yeast. We'll see how it goes, how much it changes things. I can tell you this, before I get into the rest of the brew day in actuality, the end of it was really interesting. I had to travel to Atlanta, so my brew day was Sunday, and I feared, as I always do, I did things better. I had more volume this time, so the headroom on the carboy was rather less than it's been in the past from not having all the volume that I needed. I've always overboiled, and I put a blow-off tube, thank God. What I didn't do is put the blow-off tube in the container that had the sanitizer in the little container. I did not put that in a 5-gallon bucket in case it went batshit crazy, which it did. And the wife had to deal with that very well, I might add. The producer did very well. I'm very tickled. She's very mad at me because now we have to take one of the nice carpets that are upstairs and throw it in the washing machine, because it's one of those nice oriental type rugs, and yeah, a lot of foam. But she did good, and the beer is fine. It has slowed down now. I got a regular airlock back in it, but that was the end of the day. Let's get back in how the brew day went. Anyway, K97, first time trying it. Hopefully it'll work out well. The pH, hold on a minute. It's not on here. The original pH, I was supposed to have like 5.8. I got 5.4, 10 minutes into my mash. 5.5. I apologize. 5.5. My pre-boil grab. See, I got to go back down and see what's my. Oh, okay. My pre-boil gravity target was 1042. I ended up with 1047. Let's see, what else do we have in here? We have, all right, post-boil. My original gravity target was 1047. I got 1048. I'll take that. We'll see what the final gravity is going to do. It should be about a 4.95% beer. Oh, what are some of the other numbers they like to tell me in here? My mash efficiency target was about 70%. I had 82. You'll probably understand why here in a minute. BrewHouse efficiency target was 78. I got 68. I got 78. My volume target was 5.3, and I ended up with 6. So I did not boil off. I've dialed it in. I'm in the mountains, so I had to. 212 is now boiling here, so I had to dial it in. Originally, for a while, I thought it was going to be down to like 209.6 with the claw hammer, and it still was boiling off a little bit too much. It's a fairly aggressive boil at times, and I put it down to 209 even, and I was able to watch. One of the things I did, and of course I'm a little nervous about it, is I did take the top. Of course I don't cover anything in a boil, that would be horrendous, but I did block the partial. I had like half the lid on, and it seemed to keep the boil from being overly aggressive. Interesting. Typically that thing just goes absolutely nuts, and with the lid on about halfway or maybe just a touch less, really, it steaming out, doing its thing, and it boiled, but it wasn't doing that weird pulsing that it does, as this controller has, as I've learned at times it does. As soon as I took the lid off, it wanted to do that pulsing. So I think I'm going to have to deal with that. If anybody understands that a little bit better with the claw hammer, let me know. Or if there's anything that you know that you've done that will knock that down. But again, I'm in a weird altitude here, so it's a little different. My IBUs target were 25. It's telling me in about 22. I'm not going to notice a damn difference there. And so far, so good, man. I pitched. I don't think there's too much else to mention as far as what the Brewfather is telling us. I pitched. She went absolutely crazy, man. Just went nuts. I'm glad I didn't have a major blowout. The line did not get clogged once it settled down and blew crazy for, I guess, what, 2 days. I got home from Atlanta and we're back to normal. I got a regular airlock after getting it good and sanitized, and we're back to normal. Today, I'm trying to see if I can talk myself into doing my Citra Belgian Wit, which I will then split in secondary and put some blackberry puree in the secondary for a couple days. I've done, I think the first time I ever did it was like a full 7 days, then I backed it down to 5 days, and I think I'm going to back it down to 3 because I still, with the blackberry, everybody says they still feel like they're tasting the rind part of the blackberry. It's a little bitter on that back end, so I think I'm going to knock it down to like 3 days this time. But if I do a brew day today, if I can work up the gumption for it, I will, and then I'll let you know all about that after the fact. I don't do a whole lot. I'm sure I will at some point. The brew, show everything, but the BrewHouse is still a mess. Yes, we're still very much under construction. I'm getting there, kids. Jesus, man. Boof. Again, the electric slowed me down. I'm almost done with that, but I've had to pass that off a little bit. The stairwell that I thought I was going to do first is now drywalled. I have drywall up. I have my first coat of mud in all the joints. Everything's taped and mudded. I got to do a sanding and probably recoat once or twice. Again, that'll slow me down, and it's coming along. Eventually, everything will look like this because, yeah, you want to see something horrifying? All right, you ready for this? Yeah, you're gonna love this. I'll try not to make you dizzy. Yeah, we're going around. We're gonna go around. There's the beast. And there's the stairwell, and yeah, I got a lot of work to do there. There's a whole bunch of junk. Yeah, there we go. We're just kicking right along, aren't we? And then there's the studio, which, whoops, didn't mean to do that. And that's just a hellhole right now. Yeah, I have a lot of work to do yet, and it is August something, and we got vacation coming, which these two beers I'm going to do a tasting at the beach. We got a big group going again. It's not a boys trip, big family trip. Lots of us going, kids are going, friends are going, families are going. It'll be fun. We'll do some tastings down there, but hopefully between now and then you'll see the brew day for the Belgian Wit. So yeah, rock and roll, people. Cheers.